Have you ever stopped to think about how much our lives depend on the Earth's spin? It feels like we're perfectly still, but right now the planet is rotating at over 1,600 kilometers per hour. That's about 1,000 miles per hour if you're at the equator. This spin is so constant we don't even notice it. But what if for just 24 hours it just stopped? The fallout wouldn't just be a little disruptive, it would be the end of everything as we know it. Picture this. You're standing on a shoreline, enjoying the view. In a split second, the ground beneath you screeches to a halt. But you don't stop. Neither does the air, the oceans, or anything else not literally fuse to bedrock. In that first moment, everything on the surface is launched eastward at the speed of a high-powered rifle bullet. This isn't the opening scene of a disaster movie. This is your new reality. The Great Scouring. That first second is all about one thing: inertia. You know that feeling when a car slams on its brakes and you lurch forward? Now imagine that on a planetary scale. Everything that isn't nailed down, people, buildings, forests, topsoil, you name it, gets violently yeeted sideways at 1,600 kilometers per hour. But the real party starter is the atmosphere. The air, which was also cruising along with the planet, keeps going. This would trigger winds so fast and powerful they'd make the shockwave of a nuclear bomb look like a gentle breeze. These winds would scour the landscape clean. Mountains would be sandblasted, cities shredded into a blizzard of deadly shrapnel, and forests flattened in an instant. All that friction would generate so much heat, igniting global firestorms, all while a continuous, deafening sonic boom echoes across the planet. The global tsunami. While the winds are busy shredding the surface, an even bigger monster awakens: the oceans. Just like the air, all that water has incredible momentum. When the planet stops, the oceans don't. They would surge eastward in a single world-ending tsunami. We aren't talking about a wave you can surf. We're talking about a wall of water kilometers high, moving at the speed of a jet. Within minutes, this mega tsunami would wash over entire continents, burying cities and surging thousands of kilometers inland. The force would be so immense, it would literally grind down mountain ranges. The surface of the ocean itself would be torn to shreds by the supersonic winds, creating a chaotic foam of water and air where you couldn't tell where the sea ended and the sky began. For a while, Earth would pretty much become a water world, with almost no dry land left. A planet in convulsion. And if that wasn't bad enough, the planet itself would be tearing itself apart. The sudden stop would send catastrophic shock waves through Earth's tectonic plates. This would trigger earthquakes bigger than anything we can measure, happening all at once, all over the world. Volcanoes everywhere would erupt, spewing ash and lava across a landscape that's already been scoured, burned, and flooded. On top of that, the Earth isn't a perfect sphere. Its spin causes it to bulge at the equator. Without that spin, gravity would start pulling the planet back into a perfect ball. As the Earth's crust shifts to this new shape, the oceans, which had begun to pool at the poles, would start a slow, relentless journey to cover a new, more spherical world. Before we find out what happens when our planet becomes a world of endless day and eternal night, do us a favor and subscribe. We love diving into these mind-blowing hypotheticals, and you won't want to miss what's next. A day of two worlds. So, now our 24-hour pause begins. The Earth is hanging motionless, but it's still orbiting the sun. This means one half of the planet is now locked in a staring contest with the sun for 12 hours straight, while the other side is plunged into 12 hours of total darkness. On the day side, the sun just beats down without mercy. With no night for relief, temperatures would skyrocket, getting hot enough to boil water and maybe even melt lead. Any life left on this side would be utterly incinerated. The ground would bake and crack, turning the entire hemisphere into a sterile, scorched desert. The magnetic shield fails. As if the surface-level chaos weren't enough, a silent killer would emerge. The Earth's spin, specifically the churning of its molten iron core, is what generates our planet's magnetic field. Think of it as our invisible force field, shielding us from deadly solar radiation and cosmic rays. If the Earth's core stopped spinning with the rest of the planet, that shield would weaken or even collapse entirely. Stripped of its protection, the planet would be blasted with lethal radiation from the sun. What's worse, the solar wind would start stripping away our atmosphere bit by bit, just like it did to Mars billions of years ago. The very air would be eroded away into space. The restart. After 24 hours of this planetary horror show, the Earth suddenly spins back up to speed. But this isn't a happy ending. It's a second, identical apocalypse. Just as the sudden stop flung everything east, the sudden start would send it all rocketing to the west. Any debris that had settled would be launched again. The supersonic winds would return, but from the opposite direction. And the oceans, which had been slowly reshaping the globe, would be violently sloshed back, kicking off another round of world-ending tsunamis. It's a second complete scouring of the planet. So, could this actually happen? Thankfully, the laws of physics say a firm no. The Earth's rotation is a leftover from its formation 4.5 billion years ago, and there's no known force that could just stop it on a dime and then restart it. In reality, the Earth's spin is slowing down, but incredibly gradually, mostly due to the Moon's gravitational pull. But this thought experiment does something really important. It highlights the ridiculously delicate balance that makes our world work. From the simple cycle of day and night to the invisible magnetic field that guards us, we live in a system that is both incredibly complex and fragile. That silent, steady spin is the engine that keeps us all alive. What other cosmic what-ifs keep you up at night? Drop your ideas in the comments below. And if this trip to the apocalypse has you looking at our world a little differently, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more explorations into the biggest questions in the universe. On the night side, it's the exact opposite. With no sunlight, temperatures would drop to levels colder than an Antarctic winter. The landscape would become a frozen, silent wasteland, cloaked in a darkness so profound, it's impossible to imagine. Caught between these two extremes is a thin twilight zone, a band of perpetual dawn or dusk. This sliver of the planet might be the only place with survivable temperatures, but it would be a complete nightmare, a zone of unimaginable storms where the superheated air from the day side smashes into the freezing air from the night side.